An East Bay mother is remembering her child as she tries to come to terms with her recent death. Her 24-year-old daughter was shot and killed at that Toyota dealership in Albany last week. Thanks for joining us tonight on KRON 4 News at 5. I'm Grant Lotus.
And I'm Vicki Libiakis. Police say it was a targeted killing because the victim and the alleged shooter had a child together. KRON 4's Teresa Estacio has more now on what happens next for the family left behind.
They was the best of friends for real.
Yvonne Gallen is talking about her daughter, Alana Gallen, and her grandson. Alana was shot and killed last Thursday while she was working at the Toyota dealership in Albany. Authorities are calling it a domestic violence case. The family disputes that, saying that the alleged shooter and Alana were no longer together. They were focused on being co-parents of their 7-year-old son, King Walker.
King, or whatever. She'll be at work and she'll call me and say, what is King doing?
Gallen says Alana worked for 3 years for Toyota to support the two. She says her daughter spent all of her free time caring for King.
Love to go get snacks. For real. Every time Mom take me to the store, before he say he wants something to eat, he want to go get some snacks. He loves sports. He loves basketball, football.
Gallen has set up a GoFundMe to try and help out her grandson in this crisis.
College, therapy, just growing up life, etc.
She says her grandson misses his mom a lot.
King's roller coaster. He's like a up and down. Because we had a small balloon release out here, and we left the candles out, and then King came over to the candles the day after and squatted and looked at it, and baby just bust out crying.
Gallen says that they plan to hold a vigil this coming week as they continue to mourn her untimely death. In Albany, Teresa Estacio, KRON 4 News.
Which there's footage, which I'll probably play it here. He shows up. He probably was trying to blow up her phone, trying to get in contact with her. She's not listening to his advances, because that's what the mother was saying. He was trying to get back with her, but she wasn't trying to hear it. She wasn't answering the phone. She was ignoring him. He became neurotic. He probably threatened her already, but she didn't take him seriously. And he shows up, not that calling the police or anything or order of protection will stop a man if he's really trying to do something, if he really has a plan in mind and he's upset. But that is not going to stop him. He came up that morning to her job where she worked at, went over to the desk where she was at this car dealership full of people, salesmen. They get into an argument. He probably asked her, why aren't you answering your phone? Why can't we be together? And she probably was just like, really? You came up to my job with this? Probably going off on him and things like that. Why are you embarrassing me? And he probably just pulled out the strap, which is what witnesses tried to shoot himself at. So all this going on, 911 calls going, people are frightened, people are running out, calling the police. They come in there almost like a SWAT team, probably 6-7 dudes with automatic weapons. And he decides, since he failed to delete himself, he will go for the self-deletion via cop, for lack of a better term. And he points his weapon at the police, knowing what's going to happen, and they unleash automatic gunfire, and he gets terminated right then and there. So this young boy loses both parents.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 23. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of the Most High is eternal life through Yahushua HaMashiach our Lord. Kol Holayim La, Abanawa Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Rakak Radash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Achaeum out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners. And shalom to the Akwaf, sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. It's the book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 23. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of the Most High is eternal life through Yahushua HaMashiach. And, the story is very sad, very, seems like it's, done in error. But everything that's done by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is not a mistake. Okay, it's not, as they say, wrong place, wrong time. You know, that person that has mental issues, he needs to go get evaluated, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Okay, everything is actually preordained and commanded by Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai. And our people continue to transgress and, you know, to multiply and amplify and increase in iniquities. So, you know, with you leading unrighteous, vain life, it's leading you to the path of destruction. And that's what this is. This is a clear example of judgment from the Lord, man. Okay, you had a Jake literally trying to get back with his wife, you know, and obviously she rejected him, so he took her out. And, you know, us men have been through all types of stages where we try to go above and beyond to please these women and to show these women that we love them and everything else. So, you know, because this captivity, you know, again, it teaches us to you know, worship, put the woman on the pedestal, you know, to bow down to her every need, you know, to make sure that you please her. And, you know, as they say, happy wife, happy life, man. So, you know, he probably already figured and probably already found out that she was laying with somebody else. Okay. And so a men, and me personally, from experience, you know, when I was with my wife, you know, I actually really truly love my wife. There was nothing I would not do for my wife, my kids, you know, period, man. There's literally nothing, you know, and that's a sickness, man. That's really a sickness that, you know, us men had before we came into the truth, man. And that also goes into woman worship, man. Not having no nuts, no backbone, no nothing, man. But let's grab this. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 34. For jealousy is the rage of a man. Okay, for jealousy is the rage of a man. So I'm very certain that he either figured out that she was laying with somebody and he couldn't, you know, which no man in general, no man can really sit right here and imagine anybody else, you know, laying down with his woman, man, you know, doing all types of nasty acts in the bedroom and, you know, her looking at that man as her, you know, her lover, her king, whatever the case may be, whatever they label each other down these days, man. But no man can mentally handle that, man. So that brings forth rage, jealousy, okay, strife, wrath. For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore, he will not spare in the day of vengeance. And he did not spare his wife in this vengeance that he brought upon her, man. And as you know, as you heard, he basically was blowing her up and trying to, you know, convince her to, you know, be back with him. And, you know, they have a family, in which in actual reality, you know, you're tied to your husband. You're not supposed to be laying with no other man. But, you know, this society, this captivity, Esau, and the so-called self-proclaimed white man, he teaches you can be with whoever you want to be with. You know, you can have as many boyfriends and all that, which is bullshit. It's no such thing as boyfriends. Okay, it's a husband and wife. That's it. Okay, but again, this society has taught you wrong. It has taught you literally how to go against our customs, literally how to, you know, dishonor and displease Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai by being consumed in sin. Okay, because again, matter of fact, let's grab this. That's a transgression, man. You're an adulterer or adulteress. You know, laying down with other people. Especially you men laying down with somebody's wife, you're adulterer. And you women laying down with multiple men and still, you know, your husband's still breathing. And technically the man that takes your virginity is your husband. Okay, so, you know, and a lot of our people, you know, don't acknowledge or know that. So they're literally going all out. And as Yahweh Shah said, this sinful and adulterous generation, man. And that's what we see. So this is the book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 2. This is what Esau doesn't tell you, man. Okay, Romans 7, verse 2. For the woman which have an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth. Now, let's say, you know, as a worldly concept in the flesh, her baby father was her husband. So for her rejecting her baby father and, you know, more than likely, talking to other men or another man, laying with that man or other men, because I don't give a good goddamn how much time she spent with her son and everything else. You know, women have needs, man. Trust and believe. Women had needs, and even if she had a connection or a bond with somebody when that little boy went to sleep and she got a freak on, okay? Trust me. For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of her husband. Now, again, the first person that takes your virginity, that's your husband. Okay, that's who you pair a bond with from the beginning. Okay, but she trying to leave, just speaking in worldly concept, her baby father as her husband, one she buried a kid by. So she's attempting to leave him because what does Esau tell you? You don't have to be with that man. You can, live your life. You can ride the cock carousel, and also what they say too. I'm single until I'm married. That bullshit, which actually in reality, sex is marriage, man. Once you lay down with a man, you're literally, establishing that foundation of marriage between one another, man. Once that man places his reproductive organ in your reproductive organ, that's that bond being sealed. Okay, period, man. There's no way around it, man. Okay, and again, the Edomites, or so-called self-proclaimed white people, have destroyed our women because they believe, these philosophies, and they drink that wine and they, take it and they run with it. This is verse 3. So then if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man. And let's be clear about this. This shit is mainly happening here in Babylon. And yes, it's probably, floating to other areas on the earth, but it's mainly produced and practiced in the soils of Babylon, man. And Esau is not going to tell you women, especially the Israelite women, about these matters, man. And furthermore, again, as a prior lesson that I made before, you women don't worship Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. You worship the creature. And that creature that's in control right now is the Edomites. Again, the so-called self-proclaimed white man. Okay, because women gravitate towards power. And in actual reality, because the Lord, he took that understanding, that knowledge, that wisdom of him from you. So if you had any common sense, let's say that if you had any common sense, you would realize the one that has the true power is the creator, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and you would really change your ways and reverence and worship Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. But it's the opposite, man. Okay? So this Jake was literally trying to get back with his wife, but before we, what is this? Zephaniah 3. Let's grab this. Zephaniah 3, verse 5. The just Lord, Yahweh, is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. And this was judgment. Regardless how sad the story is and what happened and how the Lord brought it forth, it was judgment. Okay? It was judgment. And as the Lord said, man, Salakia, let's grab this real quick. I know I'm everywhere right now, but the Spirit is, pushing me to grab these precepts real quick. Okay, this is the book of Acts, chapter 10, starting off at verse 34. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that the Most High is no respecter of persons. So the Lord is not a respecter of persons. Okay, especially when he's bringing forth judgment, whether he wounds you or he deletes you. Okay, again, whether he wounds you or deletes you, okay, makes you unalive. The Lord's not going to show no gratitude, no respect, no reverence, no compassion, no sympathy, no empathy, none of that nonsense. Okay? Period, man. You're not going to get, a warm embrace from the Lord before he judges your ass. Nah, man, he's going to judge you, and it's going to be gruesome. It's going to be horrific. It's going to be, as they say, a savage way. Okay? The Lord is going to show you Israelites that he's about that life. You ain't about shit. He's about that life. Okay? Everything we see is judgment right now, man. Verse 35. But in every nation, okay, in every tribe of the nation of Israel, Salakia, every tribe of Israel is a nation, Salakia. But in every nation, he that feareth him, and again, as I stated again in a prior lesson, you women don't fear, reverence, glorify, or acknowledge or worship Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. You reverence, acknowledge, glorify, okay, and submit to the so-called self-proclaimed white man because he's in power. But the actual one who's really in power and always is in power is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And the so-called self-proclaimed white man is literally leading you to your destruction, man. And like the beloved elder apostle Gabar said, you women are going to suffer the most when all hell breaks loose. Matter of fact, I'm going to read this and I'm going to grab another precept. Came to my mind, man. Call hello, y'all, Shem Yahweh Shai. But in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. And you women don't work righteousness, man. Okay? But let me grab this real quick. Because you women right now are living in prosperity. Okay? And that's going to change in the very, very near future. All right? And if you don't like this lesson, if you think I'm hating on the so-called black woman or whatever the case may be, unsubscribe and stay off my goddamn page. Judgment is judgment. Okay? And I also do judgment videos on Jake too. It is what it is. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. Don't need your goddamn comments. Okay, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 11, and I'm going to read verse 25. In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. So, and this is you women, because, you have these degrees that you go to school to get, which also comes with that student loan debt. But you have those degrees, you get these jobs that, put you at a high status and at a certain tax bracket. And it pumps you up with pride. It makes you feel like you living your best life. You see videos on social media where women going across the world and recording it. And, I'm 32 and I've been everywhere, no kids, this and that, living my best life. All types of madness, man. Prosperity, man. Okay, in the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction because you don't think about the latter end. You don't think about everything that's being hid and what the prophets are speaking about and what the heathen are trying to keep concealed from the masses of people, man. But we're speaking of those things and literally matching them up with the scriptures and telling you what's going to happen. But what do y'all do? Y'all mock, y'all scoff, and y'all ignore it. Okay, and in the day of affliction, which is coming. Okay, which is literally coming. As soon as you blink your eyes, it'll be here. But in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity. So all those happy days that you done had, all the vacations, all the cocks you done laid on, okay, all the treacherous things you done did to men, okay, the way you didn't raise your kids if you had any, all the wickedness you done did, man, to live a lavish, glorious, comfortable, relaxed life is going to be, you're going to wish you had those days, man. Okay, because the Lord's going to bring so much affliction upon our people, man, and especially you women, okay, that hey, look, man, you won't even remember any good days, okay? But Salaki, I had to grab that. Let's jump here real quick. This is the book of 2 Timothy, because again, like I stated, man, the Edomites have given you women a false delusion of truth, man. The real truth is given to you by the prophets, man. And we're telling you to repent and come back to our customs, come back to our heritage, man. But what? Nah, my daddy ain't said, so I don't believe it, And more stuff like this is going to continue to happen, man. More judgment is like this is going to continue to happen. All right. So this is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, starting off at verse 6. For of this sort are they which crept into houses. Okay, who crept into those houses to, bind the strong man, to cause that division in the household? First and foremost, it was Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai doing it, but he used the Edomites, the so-called self-proclaimed white people, to bring forth that matter. Okay, so he crept in the household, got the man out, gave government assistance programs, a Section 8, SNAP, which is food stamps, all types of programs to keep the man at the household, and said, I'll give you you women certain things so you can go to school and get these degrees and this and that. All you got to do is just keep the man at the house. I'll raise your kids. I'll make sure your kids has lunch for school. I'll make sure you have food. Pantry, whatever they call them damn things. Food banks and shit like that. He gave you a false truth, a vain, deceitful truth that you're supposed to be worshiped. You're supposed to be on the top. Okay, you're supposed to be the head of the household, and led captive silly women with sins. Okay, because as it says in the scriptures, of the woman came the beginning of sin. Okay, she transgressed by literally going to this same devil that had the same spirit because it was the same person. Okay, and now it's playing out right now in this captivity. Okay, as it says in Jeremiah 31 verse 22, a woman shall overpass the man. Okay, which we see because our women have drunk that wine, that philosophy, that false doctrine, those and taken heed to the false ways of Esau. Led away with diverse lusts. Okay, do what you want to do. Don't settle down to one man. Okay, you're single until you're married. Okay, ride the cock carousel. Who cares about how many bodies you got? Don't have a family. Be you. Do what you want to do. If he don't want to conform to you, leave him. You don't got to be with him. He don't own you. All types of bullshit, man. Ever learning. Okay, the black woman is the most educated. The black woman is the most educated, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But, you learn the knowledge of this world, in which the Most High said the knowledge of this world is foolishness. Okay? And never able to come to the knowledge of the truth, man. Because the Lord has deprived a majority of you women. And there are elect women, which we have amongst us, that actually are learning and taking heed, man. Okay? Period, man. But we have these precepts to show forth the examples of our nation, man, and to bring forth the videos to line those precepts up, to edify and to warn and to keep you in line and walking correctly and examining yourself daily to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, because look, this is what happened, man. Our people don't want to turn to the Lord, man. Esau cannot teach you about Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. The 501c3 church cannot teach you about Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 7. Make no tarry to turn to the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and put not off from day to day. Okay, because our people put off for day to day. As it says in the scriptures, men shall be lovers of them own selves. Okay? And, everybody knows about the prophets. Everybody has come across either walking past the brothers on the highways and the byways or coming across a video on social media. Everybody knows. So you've been warned, man. And the Lord is done being quiet, man. Make no tarry to turn to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of Yahweh come forth. And that's what happened here. The wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai came forth, man. Because as we know, we don't know what this woman did in her past lives or what she was doing in this life. All right? We don't know. Okay? But obviously, it was something so much for the Lord to put the spirit on her husband to literally take her out, man, at her job, and then attempt to take himself out, man. Okay? For suddenly shall the wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai come forth, and in thy security. Was she not in security? Was she not at her job? And do not, when you're at your job, do you not feel secure? Do you not feel safe? Do you not feel like, nothing's going to happen? No evil's going to come upon you? Yes. Yes. You women feel like this. Besides, as y'all say, sexual harassment, other than that, but you women feel secure at your jobs, man. Thou shalt be destroyed. And she was destroyed, man, in her security, in her comfort, where she makes her currency. Okay, her monetary gain to pay her bills and take care of her son and herself. And in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. This woman perished in the day of her vengeance that the Lord has preordained for her to go out like this, man. It wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't something that just happened. No, the Lord ordained this to happen. It was already written for her to perish like this in her security, at her employment, at the plantation, man, by her husband. Because again, as it says in Proverbs 30, I can't remember exactly which precept, but I know it's Proverbs 30. We don't know the situation in the matter between him and his wife, man. We don't know what she was telling him. We don't know what she was doing with him to make him feel the way he felt, man. Okay? That's between him and her. And Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, man. All right? And as we know in this society, man, these women don't give a fuck about men. They'll do anything and everything to men. Women are cold, man. Women are cold, okay? And again, it's the philosophy, it's the way that Esau told you, women. You have been spoiled and overtaken by this man's wine. You have drunk that Kool-Aid, man. You have drunk that Kool-Aid and you got drunk. Esau has given you women so much comfort, so much liberty and freedom and security to do anything and not to answer and not to have no judgment, no recompense, no anything, man. But that is literally being taken away, man. Okay? That's that Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. I was going to read it, but I'm not going to read it. Colossians 2, verse 8. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and read it. Colossians 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, okay, which our people follow, especially you women, man. Well, how much do you make? If you ain't making this much, you can't do this, you can't do that for me. After the rudiments of the world. And what does it say? Be not lovers of this world, because of what? This world will pass away, because this world is wicked. Everything you're being taught, everything you're cleaving on to leads you to your demise, to your destruction, man. And this is a pure example of it. And not after Hamashiach. And we're giving you, the ways of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. We're giving you the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah. We're giving you the right understanding to walk correctly and how to do things pleasing in the sight of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah. But what do our people do? They reject it. They want to cleave on to the customs of the heathen, because they believe what Esau says and what Esau tells them is right. And if the so-called white man literally came on the streets and said, y'all are Israelites. You Negroes, Hispanics, Native and similar Indians, y'all Israelites, y'all the Most High's people, you would believe it. But your own people telling you the truth, you reject it. It's the same old song, man, from back in the old days until now, man. Nothing has changed with these niggas, man. And that's why the Lord's going to put all these niggas to death, man. But let's close out here, because you're going to be seeing a lot more women. You see how her mom is all calm? It's not a worry in the world. But the very near future is going to be different. This is Jeremiah chapter 4. We'll close out here. Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 31. For I have heard a voice of a woman in travail, and the anguish as her. Jeremiah 4, verse 31. For I have heard a voice as of a woman in travail, and the anguish as of her that bringeth forth her first child. The voice of the daughters of Zion, the voice of the daughter of Zion that bewaileth herself, that spreadeth her hands, saying, Woe is me now, for my soul is worried because of murderers. And that's what's going to be coming. That's going to be that judgment from Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. So I'm pretty sure when she heard that, she was saying that, woe is me, woe is me. I can't believe this nigga murdered my daughter, man. But it's going to be more, it's going to be heavy, and it's going to elevate very, very soon in the very near future at arm's reach, man. So we're going to leave it right there, man. I know I was everywhere, but, the Spirit had me bring out certain precepts that I didn't even think about. So, I don't want to write this out, man. I hope and I pray that this was edifying, informative, and terrifying to the true sincere Akiem wa Akwaf. So with that, I'm just going to say, Call Holayam La, Abanawa Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Radash, Wathawada, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Radash, for putting the Spirit on me, my elder apostles, elder bishops, elders, brothers on down, for doing these epistles to enlighten you, to inform you, to edify you, and uplift you to the power and spirit of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. May the blessing, election, protection, May the blessing and election and protection be upon you and your household. Adawan Ratazah. Until the next one. So with that, I'm just going to say, Shalom.